Hello everybody, this is episode 4 of my playthrough of the Lies of P DLC Overture. In this episode I will be exploring the entire area around here, all the way to the boss of it at the end. I'm actually wondering a little bit, how is it that I am going to edit this episode, because this area was atrocious and I died a lot. And there were so many parts that I was confused on if I should go forward or if I'm missing something, or like I kept remembering a shortcut or things like that. And I think that's gonna be quite hard for me to edit. As always, I'm gonna let you know if I've cut something out so that you can sort of maintain a timeline in your mind. But in general, I felt like it was one of the worst areas to navigate in the game. It was very far to go from the Stargazer to where I wanted to go. And if you lost your ergo anywhere, you would often die on the way to picking it up because it was so long to go back. I found it very extenuating, very difficult. I started by going down and picking up, some of those little items down there. You don't have to do that, especially for all the health it takes. There'll be a point when that area is easily transitable. You don't have to worry about that right now. A bit of a maze, this area, truly. A bit convoluted, a lot of enemies for how long it takes to find a shortcut. A lot of mini bosses and tanky guys and people that you would probably not like to deal with on every run that you do. I ended up choosing to run past a bunch of enemies once I had killed them once or twice, that I didn't need to check if they dropped anything anymore. Here ahead we have another rabbit door, but we don't have the key for it. We'll be finding it soon enough. Just keep in mind where the door is and we'll come back to it later, sometime later in the episode. Now, finally, starting to actually explore the level.
Did you hear that? Could that be Leia? No one in our time knows how she disappeared or how she died, even if she died. Here's hoping it's got nothing to do with this deeply disturbing alchemist facility, at least.
We see the type of enemies that are going to be around this facility. They will all be very hard in their own particular ways. The spiky guy in the distance, he inflicts overheat with that poker. Here, on my first try, it goes down easily. But don't be fooled, it wasn't that easy in the first place. We have another shortcut to the right. You see all these shortcuts, but you rarely come across with them. I felt like it was a very slow burn. Is that the right way to put it? Maybe. I felt like it was very slow to find these shortcuts. I kept thinking, this door, where does it lead? Or I don't want to leave the area because I know that I still have things missing. Really convoluted, really hectic for me. It was good level design though, it's very intricate. It's just that, not my particular liking. I thought it had similar vibes to maybe Resident Evil, maybe an homage in a sense to some Resident Evil areas that might be that way. I also thought that it was similar to the prison in Demon Souls. Always know that your string, even if you go up into the air, same thing with your special, every attack that happens in the ground will continue to affect you. An error that I made here was that I did not go back to level up, and I had enough to level up. That will surely cost me because I did not get through this area in one sweep, so I will lose my souls somewhere and then I'll have to pick them back up, or, you know, lose them farther. A theme in the level design is these pipes that you have to transit. A little bit of a maze, but not really. They're quite linear, just kind of gross looking, I guess. Careful with the enemies that are close to the ground. Depending on the weapon, you will have to select a specific move to angle to the ground. That's part of how they're tricky. I think you can also use a string to pull them to you. That might make it a little easier. Nonetheless, when there is many of them, they can certainly ambush you. Coming out of the tunnel, we still have one more guy to take down. And we see a shortcut that can actually be open, which is the one we saw earlier, across from where we went before we started this area. It's not a whole lot of time saved, but something is something, as they say. I'm going back, checking the rest of the tunnel, seeing that I'm not missing anything. And moving on, it's only one way to go, down the tunnel. This is the run back that I had to do the most. All of these, every time you would die, and I'll let you know where in the area. This particular thing as well had me for a long time thinking, like, where is this shortcut? Why is that shortcut there? It was a tad frustrating. At the end of the stairs, we come into a room. Do not be fooled. Look to your left, there is a guy waiting for you. It looks like the guy in the wall is the one that you have to worry about, but it's this guy waiting to jump. The little crazy lunatic runs around erratically. Don't let it do what it did to me. And you'll persevere and you'll get a sharp pipe. Yeah, these people look like they be using pipes. Continuing onward. In the hospital facility scientific research prison thing, where everyone's infected and crazy. It seems like I cleared this area really fast, but it had one of those guys that has like things that come out of their mouth. Ugh, I hate those guys. I hate those guys. I hate those guys. Be careful with those guys. They're so annoying, and to be in that tunnel is so silly. The path divides in two here. I'm checking the left momentarily. The left is actually the better way to go, I would say. Kind of like the tricky way to go. It's not necessarily a shortcut, but it's the way that I chose to go in subsequent tries when I went through this. If you check the other side, there is a ladder to go down to a pipe. You pick a technique crank for your trouble, and you continue down the pipe until you see another one of the guys that I was mentioning before with the tentacles. This one already had the tentacles out, which makes it so much more dangerous, but luckily I got through pretty quickly. I do not like those guys. Now the other path, what it does is that it takes you across this way without having to fight or without having to be seen by that shooter that just got me. That's why it's a little easier to go the other way. This guy, you can get it from here if you time it well, but you'll have to do it better than me, because otherwise he'll shoot you as soon as you arrive there with the string and you'll die like I did. Like I said, we go again. That's the theme here with this area. It was a lot of going back and running the same little path. I'm going to speed up the progression all the way up to when I pick up my souls and continue from there. Any progress that we might have made in this try, I think it will be for the better in the long run, given how repetitive it was to explore this level for me, at least. So when you're back to the same area, I'm going to pick my ergo and go across to a tunnel on the left side. Now one thing I noticed right away is that there is a little platform above this tunnel and that I missed an item behind me. I have a way to move forward as well, and lots of little guys who want to attack me. Have to do one thing at a time. Attacking them in the ground is really difficult, but it is possible and I still succeed. My ergo is now at 32,000. That can be good. That's not gonna end well anywhere, is it? The good call here would have been to go back at this very moment. I tried to hook her with the string because I didn't know where this went, but the same thing kept happening to me. This particular flower infects you with decay, by the way, and that reduces your weapon durability. By far the worst status to have inflicted on you, because you have to move away from your heals to recover your weapon. It is very annoying. I decided to go via the other side upstairs and see what that was all about. Obviously I didn't understand that it was like a shortcut to the same area, but I had to explore it, I guess. Now this first time that I'm here, for some reason, the plant that shoots things can see me. I didn't like that very much, but in other attempts, she left me alone for the most part. It did not hit me, but the falling hit me. You live and you learn. What I want to do is get that little item. So back I go now with a mission, a clear goal. Kill the flower. Maybe, if I become good enough. My weapon breaking. Unable to do much. But with a special in it, it gets done the business. Now of course my weapon was completely broken, so I had to fix it. Pick what the flower dropped and try to see what this corner was all about. I didn't understand that both places connected, so I was trying to piece it in my head. If you go back this way, it's the area where you would have entered from the bottom. And if you go up this ladder, it becomes a new area. Very tricky, very confusing. it will be very hard to explain the few items that are here that are important. So don't skip too much ahead, try to follow the path, try to memorize it. We have the scorpion dudes, huggers, suckers. They remind me a little bit of the guys in Bloodborne that suck your brain. Now this hallway right here was probably where I died the most. First time around I noped out. It was almost like I knew. It was almost like something in my brain knew that this wasn't the right way to be. Okay, the move is to go back, items, and attempt to get that item in that platform. Now that there is no enemies to stop me. Give it up for round 2. It's a little bit of a balancing act. Now will be a good time for you, if you have been watching the previous episodes, to equip your cat ring in here. You follow the hallway, finally, and you realize that it all ties into one area. The same area where we were before already. And it's under the area that we turned around from above. But it's also a good opportunity to talk about some things that I found interesting. I thought this is located right underneath Hotel Crab, right? And we know that Geppetto is based after his workshop and whatnot, but like where he lives, where he sleeps, whatever, where he's bunkered down, or call it what you want, around here. So it made me wonder if he came here to investigate the murder or the accident with his wife. It made me think about that. I also found it very interesting when the letter in the last episode, yesterday, when Amelia said, "Please choose wisely with your heart." I thought that was very interesting choice of words that relate to Geppetto trying to create a heart. He must have felt very misunderstood in his work, very lonely, and honestly, being the villain of our story, he still is very lonely in his pursuit, very blinded as well by it. As you can see, I have skipped ahead through one attempt because I died without making any progress, and I thought it was pointless to put it in. We're on our way back to the bridge with the poker guy where I died the last time, and I'm fast forwarding through that so that you can save yourself some time along the way. Now that I'm here, it does serve me to hit my special much easier. Once that's done, he's dead. You get a hidden moonstone from the left side, well, 2 hidden moonstones from the left side, and if you maintain your distance, you won't trigger the other guy, and you'll be able to explore a little to the right side. There is no doors or anything you can access. Apparently from out here, from the hallway, in this little portion, but you can kill the guy that's just standing there, if it appeals to you to do such a thing. Who would be so evil? Then, the tricky part here becomes a trap. The roof is full of enemies that fall down for some reason. I didn't see them. I got trapped. They throw balls. I try to run around. There is more enemies because of course. And eventually, I make it to an area with an elevator. But I don't see the elevator. An area where I would have lived so easily, yet I died. That was the attempt, and for a while, that would be distance PB. In the next attempt, I make no progress whatsoever, and I did another attempt where I got exactly to the same place and died as well. And it's not of particular importance, so I've decided to skip it. I also lost my ergo because for some reason I didn't pick it. For some reason, for the reason of being too distracted by a gazillion enemies. Hey, if you have played this DLC, watching this just for fun, for some messed up reason, could you tell me what was your least favorite area? I think this one was a strong contender for me, at least. I really did not enjoy it. And the psych ward sort of theme was adding to the creep of it. Oh, I don't think I have mentioned, but from time to time there is like screams, and it was freaking me out playing this. I am the chicken shit of all times. So, yeah, it wasn't fun. My ergo was dropping down significantly. Every chance that I couldn't get it back, and the run back was a menace. Everyone was trying to get a piece of that pea. When I eventually did get back to that place, I went to the right side, tried to explore that room, the one from the attempt that I cut. I had gotten caught here by all those guys a couple of attempts ago. I went outside, tried to keep my distance. I was playing it extremely cowardly, but I also was not in the mood to do the run back. The run back was aggressively freaking me out. I count this as progress, so I'm putting this attempt on for you. I don't want to deal with a poker. I don't want to deal with the guys in the roof. I barely want to deal with this place and its secrets. Instead, I go to the right. I take the ladder down, the road less traveled. Everything is strange and confusing. You get to a room with a chest, and after you kill the 2 whip hair mouth worms guys, and you open the chest, what you get from it is a tenacious amulet. This amulet is to reduce the effects from incoming shock and break attacks. Only through unwavering determination can one withstand shock. The instinct of a puppet fighting to survive could also be called tenacity. I went back up, and with that tenacity in me, like the tenedor that this guy is carrying. That was a terrible pun, forgive me. I landed an amazing parry. I might die, everything might be a mess, but that parry was amazing. That parry was my first parry to a red attack, And I bet you I didn't even realize it had been a red attack. I was in such a panic. Can I even credit myself with having landed that parry if I don't even realize that I'm doing cool things? I don't know. It doesn't feel like I can. We're making progress. We're picking up cool things. Killing ball guys that fall from the sky. Unfortunately, we still have one more big fork guy. One big forking guy on the other side of this door that we'll eventually have to deal with once we have to open the shortcut. I tried to open the cages with the guys hanging. I couldn't. You can see underneath there is a mini boss. Honestly, what doesn't suck here? We have a crumpled interrogation log. A long one. So prepare yourselves for some yapping. A partially shredded interrogation log. Inquisitor. The rebuttal of the accused has failed to convince the order. No valid reason was offered for the slander of Marciona, the Enlightened One, nor the termination of the experiment. Do you have anything more to accuse? She must not create any more abominations. This is not the true path for humanity. Inquisitor. Regrettable sacrifices must be made to pursue the path of truth. Accused. Honorable Inquisitor. I refer not merely to the sacrifice, but to us all. We have strayed from humanity's path. Inquisitor. Is not the evolution of humanity the purpose of the order? Accused. Only if we begin from a shared principle of morality. Just look at those carcasses, the abominations she has created. The ego and metabolism of the original patients are gone, replaced by nothing more than the instinct to consume and survive. They might imitate features and gestures of their former selves, but that's more akin to rigor mortis than life. They are dead. As moral beings, we must give them peace. Accused. As an agent of the Salamander Division, I was present at the scene of the fateful incident. Back then, Marciona meant nothing to the order. She should have been disposed of. Instead, the elders decided her abnormal tendencies held value and invited her to join the ranks. And they were proven correct. Accused. But at what cost? What kind of monster implants the heart of the person who raised them into a puppet? Did she even mourn the loss of Redacted? Inquisitor. Would you wish sentiment to stand in the way of the Enlightened One's greatest accomplishment? She opened the door to the Order's discovery of immortality. Accused. If that's what immortality is, I'd rather die a human. Nothing else in the report is legible. This is interesting. It puts it clearly that Marciona was the creator of these little freaks that we're having to find left or right. The bloated guys and the carcasses. But also, it mentions that did she even mourn the loss of Redacted? I think Redacted is Rosara, but how are Rosara and Marciona related? I'm not sure. I would love to hear more about that. I'm not sure I could even find that on Reddit if I looked it up. The children yearn for the mines, and I have gone into the Reddit mines to answer my question of what does it mean when it says, did she even mourn the loss of Redacted? They seem to think that the puppet that you fight in the fight, the Queen Arch puppet, contains the heart of Camille, who is Carlos' mother, and therefore we have killed our own mother by fighting that fight, as well as avenging the person who lured us into a trap to kill us. They're saying the implications are given in other connections, as when Camille is identified to be the maid puppet, the sacred maid puppet, and other things like that. I take it with a grain of salt. I read it. I'll think about it some more. To me, initially from reading it, I thought it meant that Markiona and Rosara were related in some way, because that's the only two people that we knew for sure at that point that were related. And she says when it turned them, the person who raised them turned into a puppet. But why turn them into a baby puppet? I don't understand that. We'll continue on. Certainly a strange one. Maybe someone who's better at lore will make a video about this and I'll be able to revisit it. I'll leave a comment underneath if I find some answers to this. I think it's certainly interesting and it paints more detail about Markiona and how much her extent was within the alchemists, not just Manus. Even after her death now, we're still finding things that she did that were kind of messed up. Moving on from the little cell where we learned so much, we go to that elevator that I had seen earlier. And if you go behind the elevator even, you find a dead alchemist. Again, petals in the floor.
I'd say the deceased was an alchemist. A high-ranking one, too. Could be the warden. Even he fell to the legendary stalker in a single blow. So, no warden, no control. Would explain all the chaos here.
It says everything you need to know about it. Leia has been here and she has done her business. Now they're saying, oh, this is the reason why the warden is dead. This is the reason why everything is out of control. I wouldn't want to see this place in control. This is crazy. This is a crazy place. I should have gone here. I should have gone up here and taken my shortcut and been good about it. But instead, what I did was go back like a dummy. Don't be like me. I kept exploring. I thought it was the right way to go. I thought it was the right thing to do. Oh my goodness, what a waste of time. The run back to this would have been much faster if I had taken that shortcut that was available right there. Now watch me try to kill this guy through the gate. That was never going to work, but he's dead anyway. And I'm continuing my exploration with dread that I know I will be having to come back all the way very soon because I took the wrong decision and I didn't realize at the time that I played it that it was the wrong decision. But that's sort of the beautiful thing about your first playthrough and whatnot. If you go down that hole, you land in the underneath area of the circular room that we've been rounding. One of the two, at least. Outside of it, there is a pea shooter. You can see it. Terrible to fight it. And a ladder as well. You take that and it leads to yet another area. A lot of things. In this area there is a butterfly, which I'm not sure I got on the first try. We'll see. I believe this is where I died though, in this run. Honestly stressful to think about the editing for the episode. But I'm doing my best. I hope it's not too bad to watch and I hope it makes sense chronologically. I think the butterfly left and so left my life. I was looking around too much and not fighting the guy enough and I paid the price. So speeding up, back to where we left things. We pick up our ergo, and it's like nothing ever happened. I'm being very careful this time around. I ran straight in all the way here because I did not want to mess about the butterfly. I'm killing the runner in a corner. Healing. Soon as I heal, I get hit with a ball from someone who followed me all the way from upstairs. Don't worry about it, I'm on it. And now time for the butterfly. There she is. This is one of those more tanky ones. It gives you a full moonstone of the covenant. Another stopping point ahead for progression. The Ballbuster. He took me a couple of tries of just running straight in and trying to get him. But first, pick up your little item, a half moonstone from your trouble. And let's see how I do in my attempt. He has very telegraph moves. He could use a hug, but I don't recommend you being the one who gives it to him. Keep your distance. That's the best. Like, manage the room. It won't get you too stuck in the room. Manage the room. Get in when he pauses. He leaves a lot of time open for it. Now don't be like me, don't be greedy. Just go in when he stops that red move and you'll be great. Unless he throws the ball straight into your face. A little parry wouldn't have hurt. But instead, what hurt me was death. He took me a bit, and I was also slightly overwhelmed about what to do. At this point there is like 500 shortcuts, 500 doors, 500 ways to go. It was a certain change of pace for me, and I was not embracing it correctly. Okay, so I had one try when I died, and now I'm speeding you up to another try where I tried something different. So instead of going back to him, once I got through, I went to the spitter area. And that's what I'm going to show you once I'm in the hallway and I recover my ergo lost in the hallway. I want to show here the next area that I tried in this attempt. Instead of going again down, we go to the left. Well, first we clear this room because some people are chasing me. So of course it's not just the spitter. As soon as you go by the thing, scorpions fall from their cages. Very fair, very demure, very mindful. But if you run away and you hide over here, this one is not like the ball buster guy that closes the door behind you and you can only be in the room. Here you can perfectly hide and try to manage the scorpions without an annoying little baller in your ear throwing shit. Once it's just you and the flower. I'm gonna call it flower, but that's very generous. Once it's just you and the flower, you should be good, right? Get your special and get your get your wins. I wanted to check out what was on the right side up the ladder. Of course, after shocking my finger trying to open a shortcut the wrong way. And there was a shortcut that should make things easier to get here in the future, but also a guy that I used my special on. I was saving it for him too. I remember vividly thinking I shouldn't use my special on the flower, otherwise the poker guy will be too annoying. I bet some other people think I should parry. I should parry this guy. I should learn this guy. Never once it crossed my mind. I was always like, man, fuck this guy. Ah, I was a hater. It's like they're already tanky and cool and... Well, here's a guy downstairs waiting for you. I think this guy is similar to a guy in the base game that around chapter 7 in the Relic of Trismegistus, he finds you around. Yeah, on the town, like on the broken things. Maybe. Or at least similar to him. I was trying with all my might to not die to it, because I didn't feel like he was hard. But I also didn't feel like I was getting a lot done. Once it's done flailing, you get that ultra attack. And pretty much it. Yeah. Visceral. So in this downstairs area, which obviously goes back to the little shortcut we saw a moment ago, what we're looking for is a weapon. This is necessary for trophies, so make sure you pick it up. The weapon is the Puppet of the Future Welder Blade and the handle. It says, a heavy blade taken from special equipment that welds the puppets of the future together. The thickness of the blade allows immense heat to be momentarily contained within it, but it dissipates just as quickly. The puppets of the future are built to do the work of the future, as the name implies, and to build the future, the past must sometimes be broken. And the handle, the industrial hand grip of the special equipment that welds the puppet of the future together. Its unique heating mechanism enhances the heavy iron blade's lack of firepower. Even the puppets of the future could only endure the intense heat from the equipment for so long. These puppets were like an assembly of melted puppets that would, given time, become welded together. A great weapon to find down here. Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by a puppet of the future. At this moment in time, they're all in the future, actually. I don't think I remember seeing a puppet of the future in the DLC. But maybe there is one that I have missed. Let me know in the comments if that's the case. I would have fun cranking one. I love that little boss. Going back to our regularly scheduled programming, who is up for some balls here, huh? Certainly me, it seems. A rematch with this guy. Let's see if we make it or break it. My bet is on break it. Again, the advice served once is the advice served again. Don't eat his attacks. That's not good. It's not yummy. Additionally, wait until he's tired to go in. You don't want to be healing at the time that, you know, you're supposed to be going in. That 1, 2, 3, 4 he does, That's your chance. Instead of hopping back, go in and show him a good time. Do your special, do the strongest thing you got. Don't get greedy. See, the greed is the problem. Then you get out and you get going. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Somehow I'm ripe with shock and he's not. Fair? I don't think so. I am surviving quite a bit though. My stamina is empty. My heals are empty. I'm not managing very well. So it might be a short-lived survival. What do I have left? My string. And what am I doing? My string. Wasn't the greatest idea, but it got me a visceral and with that a backstab as well. And once you have the backstab, you have the heal, you have a little extra attack, and you get too greedy. Wasn't that so sad? It could have been it, but instead, I was a dummy. I was really scared. That's the problem. So I have skipped ahead 2 tries of terrible nature. You don't even want to know what I was doing. And eventually, against my best judgment and against my best skill, I make it all the way back to the elevator and call down the elevator and get in the elevator and go up the elevator. It's traumatic. It's what it is. And now we have a frost-covered instructions right upstairs. My brothers and sisters, I bring orders from Pistris. May the path of the truth be realized. I have come to a decision at last. A master who has betrayed the truth is not master at all. A church that has betrayed our trust is not friend of ours. We shall bear the light that illuminates the desecrated path of truth once again. We shall deploy all forces from the Zelator underground facility until we return, defend the coolant control room, and deal with any intruders. No one must breach our sanctum. Go, defeat the enemies of the truth. Do not stop until the path of the truth is realized. Awaken, evolve, ascend. Our immortality is inevitable. We have a shortcut that I just opened and a new character here, a sweeper survivor.
No! Mercy! Please, don't kill me. Please. See, the legendary stalker. Just let me here. Oh, I'm not an alchemist. Spare me. Spare my life. Please. I heard she was looking for someone. I heard it. I did. To think I tried to kill her. The legend herself. Twice. What an idiot I am. Good thing I failed. Failed twice. I never could. But I wanted to. But no, I'm sorry. A stalker. Gone. But still, she went deeper into the laboratory. came in with Veronique. Yes, and we were a vanguard. But it was a trap. The alchemists were waiting in ambush. The things they did. But that's over. They're gone, aren't they? Everything's wrong. What strange drugs did they fill me with? Don't deny it. It is slow, but sure, steady, and so strange. I will become a monster. I have seen such things. My fellow vanguard. Now, monsters all. Please, I don't want to die. No, help me, please.
So, these are from one of the two stalker factions, the sweepers and the bastards. They're saying that a sweeper vanguard came in. Her name is Veronique. We're gonna get to know more about her later. From the bastards, we know Lumacchio from earlier at the hotel, and he was infected, and sadly, as you can see, he died.
It's really sad. But there wasn't any way
If
to
you
save
take a
them.
look here, before you take the elevator shortcut, you have that box that you saw earlier in the level. And it contains a Legion amulet. Now the Legion amulet, what it does, increasing the damage output of the Legion arm attack, and it says a stalker's powerful prosthetic can often turn the tide of battle. The strength of an army can be found in these inconspicuous prosthetics. I would say very useful. I'd be using that Legion arm like it's cosa buena, as they say in Spanish. I'd be spamming my puppet string. If you're using one that needs even more damage, because the puppet string, I don't use it for damage as much as I use it for getting close, you know, keeping my distance and cutting it short. But if you're trying to use, let's say, the pizza cutter one new that's from the DLC that we crafted in a previous episode, that could probably benefit from some extra damage. Anyway, we've done more than we set out to do on this try, and boy, are we not gonna do even more? Are we not gonna go till the end? More like till our end. It is gonna be our end, isn't it? It's like I can feel it before even watching the attempt. I was nervous as hell about this guy. After having lost to him so embarrassingly when I was so close to getting him, I just wanted to be good. So I was trying to measure my ins, letting him cook. I hesitated and somehow I came out of that unscathed. A wiser person would have tipped off their health, because I don't know why I don't have my health all the way up. I was feeling, I don't know, like maybe I would need them all and I didn't want to spend. Obviously, I didn't learn anything and I almost died because of that. In the same position as last time. You know what? Go ahead, yeah. Can you believe it? This is proof, this is empirical proof that I do not have the ability to learn. But hey, look who has a shortcut and doesn't have to go all the way back. So after dying one more time to that guy, I take my shortcut and now it's open and much easier. I go all the way back to his arena and we try it all again. It seems like I have all the ingredients necessary for winning as long as I don't get greedy in that final moment. I keep thinking if I just get one more hit in, this will all be over. But how much has it costed me? How much greed was there? I almost died again. Do I even deserve to win? You be the judge of that. I certainly get lucky sometimes. I'm waiting for that fourth attack and then going in with a string, rinse and repeating. You know, it would have been good to have the damage thing since all I did was the string in that moment. He's electrified, a positive. I do a great parry, one for the record books, and now the moment of truth. Going behind him, doing the attack and not getting greedy. Make your bets. Well, kind of forcefully, but I got it. You get a workshop Union Finish cartridge +1 out of that battle. That's another defensive item that you can equip yourself, and when it's done, the door over here at the end can be open, and it also causes a couple of other doors around the facility to open. You can curse through the bottom now. Many little side rooms that we have already been at. This is the same place where we go upstairs to kill the flower, but we don't have to go upstairs to kill the flower. Instead, we can now go across and continue exploring.
What exactly are the alchemists researching anyway? It has to be for a cure. How else could they justify such horrifying deeds? Oh, I want to forget what we saw, but I can't.
And at the end of your walkway, there is a stargazer. If you know anything about stargazers, is that they're always in the right spot. And you will need it here. This is your little parkour moment. The well from DS2, if you may. Some Elden Ring areas as well will remind you of this. If you get hit by the freeze while walking, it will push you off the walkway. Same as this guy.
Is that unique? She sounds completely insane.
We have to kill him in order to proceed. Going back and killing the guy and being a coward and thinking it all over. Only to fall like that. It's a Mookie classic if you think about it. There hasn't been a time where I have used my brain in a positive way in a video game. After coming back with a renewed knowledge of what the parkour really requires, I ventured I fell again. And you know what? Maybe I deserve it a little bit. If you think about it, I've had the whole entire episode, a bunch of souls, enough to level up now twice, thrice at this point, and I have not used them. What is wrong with me? Some people wonder. I don't know, there is no answer. Doctors are as stumped as you and me. I'm getting across this time, watch. There we go. Woo! Is that so difficult? And we risked the biscuits for a fire canister. Do we need it? Is it something that will change our lives? Psh, hardly. Here in the middle, there is an item. You have to time it correctly in order to get it. It's Gemini's enhanced detection. You can see as well near a pipe on the other side. There will be an item that we're missing, but it takes me a little bit to figure out how to get it. So proceeding onwards, I take the ladder to a lower level and I try to explore what's around me. If you make it all the way down here without dying a single time, you're my personal hero. You're the best that ever was. I keep seeing little items and wondering, am I going the right way? Am I gonna miss them? But it is more concerning to think that I'll die from the freeze bumping me. I made it almost all the way to the bottom. Now, going across, getting that final item that I had seen. It was a dark moonstone of the Covenant. A little bit underneath again, using a ladder. There is an enemy, so be careful. He is literally just waiting there for you to snap you. So go down with health. Don't be like me. And a little item in a corner. A black rabbit hole key. Well, if you remember at the beginning of the episode, we had a place where we saw a rabbit door where we could use this key. So now all we have to do is survive and find a way to go back there at some point. Through the left is the correct way to go if you were just looking to proceed forward. And don't listen to this pipe, that doesn't mean much. Again, the cat ring, another goodie. Another goodie opportunity to live and not die by using the cat ring. Here, very right of the platform, is where you want to go. And then again, try to fall and not fall to that guy. Exactly. Like that. You can continue through the pipe. There is nothing at the bottom of the well. You can continue through the pipe. You can hear the voice of someone hurting. You can continue on and arrive at a well-deserved stargazer. We have a couple of things left, but we can go ahead and check out who is the person crying for help before, you know, we finish up other things that we have in the level.
My mind is unraveling.
We have a couple of things left in the platform and a couple of things left in the level, but before we do all that, let's check out the boss of the level, Veronique, the leader of the sweepers. So now we have it. We know both leaders of both factions. During this time, she's a hammer-wielding ram with a big fire. And she's not even in her prime. She's complaining about this petrification disease that's getting to her. Meanwhile, we die immediately. It happens to the best of us. After checking her out momentarily, I wanted to finally, for the love of God, level up. After spending the whole episode mulling around, not being able to bring my souls back and then forgetting to do it. Not that I deserve this level, but you know. At least it was somewhat earned. I think it's actually the same amount of ergo that I had at the beginning of the episode. And net zero. Or close to net zero. Maybe even net negative. Certainly. Okay, what I wanted to do was to go back. Before properly addressing Veronique, I wanted to go back to the beginning of the facility and check out a couple of things that are now available for me. Upstairs and at the end of the hallway, if you remember, we had the rabbit door, so I can go back and see who this one belonged to. If you open the box, you end up finding inside the Elder gas mask and the Black Death's protective apparel. So here's how it looks like. And the mask says, "The mask worn by the eldest of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, this executioner mask signifies death in cracked back alleys. Seriously, you really think I'm in danger on this street? Heh. Back already, big brother," said the youngest. And the outfit worn by the eldest of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, this sturdy stab-proof suit was designed to thwart death blows aimed at the Brotherhood. We grew up on streets where death was entertainment. In that environment, resentment follows your every footstep. As the eldest, my hope is that only I pay the price in our final moments. Diary of the Eldest. This one was a very sad entry because obviously you killed them all at once. So, you know, his wish was not completed. But I did not like the outfit itself. I think the noose around the neck is quite gruesome for me. Also, for wearing it momentarily, you get a Black Rabbit Brotherhood family photo. I thought it was very wholesome. It's everybody. And it says, "Family photo of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood taken by the eldest. Although they're a group of criminals who committed countless evil deeds, this is a family photo they all cherished." Makes them look like a sweet family, doesn't it? They had something that others in this game even envied, desired, hoped to have. I'm going back to my regular drip, wearing Romeo's stalker uniform and drenched in blood and my little horns. I like the horns. And now I'm teleporting back to the top of the shaft that we parkour through to finish picking up all the little secrets that might be around here. From the top, instead of going all the way like we went last time, you just turn around right here. With a little death roll to sort of fall in this area with a board and pick up a half moonstone. Now there is a walkway with ball throwers in here. Be very careful, try to heal unlike I did, and it slowly goes upward towards that item that we've seen from the outside before. Once you finish climbing that and you get to the item, it is an ancient disc. If you were missing some, or if you were needing some to trade with Klaus, then that was your chance. Now all I have to do is continue my way down, try to get that one other item, but alas, I fall to my death. I'm surely gonna make a compilation of all the times I fell down that shaft, right? That would make for a nice video. Once you have all the things in the shaft, especially the disc, we can go back and try Veronique a couple more times. I'll show you that she did not take me that long. I find by large, with just one exception, and the exception is in this DLC, but it's not Veronique. I find by large that enemies sized like a person are very easy to confront, and this was the case with her. I was here very briefly, maybe 3 or 4 tries, and then I got the win. I will make sure to put a couple of deaths I had as a little way to skip forward time in the video, give you a sense of what my progression was like.
Laboratory for the sake of Kraz.
But yes, this was the winning attempt with Veronique, the leader of the sweepers, and that's pretty much all it took me to get her. In phase 2, she was doing a bit more damage because she makes her hammer be fire only. But it is not a completely different boss. If you know the moves the first time around, you will know them the second as well. Another thing that helped me for the winning attempt was using
Alchemist bastards!
my corrosive on her. It got a lot of damage buildup in it. Also, another thing that is good about bosses that are human is that when you use your heavy on them, or when you use the string and attack them, it knocks them to the ground and you get a free hit out of that. That's very useful, in my opinion. The string cannot be overestimated. Whatever the other weapons are doing, the string is adding more to your life. Listen to me convert to the string. Sadly, this was it for Veronique, with one final heavy attack and a visceral. She falls to the ground.
Forgive me. I did terrible things to you. That drug, their cure, it twisted my mind. I put you in danger. I'm sorry. Please, I beg of you, nothing must leave this place. This cursed lab. Those cursed beings. Their test subject. Created from the legacy of the ruins. The two-faced Overseer. It cannot be allowed to live. Do me this one last favor. If you mean that red-headed stalker, she did pass through here. Back when I could still think straight. We were rivals once. In the end, she showed true compassion. I'm done. Head to the coast. Find Leia. I die as I lived, without regret. Remember me, Veronique of Grant.
As you can see, she dies with some final words for us. She was succumbing to the disease, so it was not only that we fought with her, she was already doomed. But this is part 1 out of 2 of the trophy for the DLC. I would say it's a story trophy. I don't think you can skip it, as the 2 parts are related to progression in the story. But yeah, it is important to kill her to fight the boss battle, and when you don't get the trophy this time, you get the trophy in the next time, but it's all part of the same quest. She leaves behind her will that says, "This letter shall stand as my last will and epitaph. Many stalkers are collaborating with the alchemist in their vile human experiments. The shameless wretches. I cannot stand by and watch this betrayal. I plan to put an end to their treason." It was not a bad goal, what she's saying. "I leave this final message for my comrades who have pledged to join me in this attack. None of us will survive. I am truly sorry, Veronique." You feel warmth for that. It is a key moment of your progress towards becoming human. You also get her outfit out of it, a little macabre to see her there dead and also have her outfit. It appears we have looted her body. It says, the mask worn by the leader of the sweepers, the gold on the horns has peeled, and the leather is stained blue. Endure, resist, destroy. She remained loyal to the way of the sweepers until the end. A similar motto to the one that we read earlier. Now her outfit, what it says is, Blue Sheep's battle apparel worn by the leader of the sweepers. It's rugged in shape, robust in build, and direct in function. Since long ago, these garments protected her just as they protected her ancestors. In fact, they were worn with masks by the protectors of Krat, even during the days before the Stalkers. So it's making it seem like the sweepers are maybe an older, somewhat connected to a previous era faction as well, especially her. It's an interesting background lore. I wonder who it relates to. It doesn't look very good, so I'm going back to my usual outfit, and then I'm pressing the button that releases the freeze from the whole entire facility. Now we can access all sorts of other areas within the facility and move forward as well to new locations.
Until the bitter end. But even if we could have helped her, it was far too late. At least her suffering is over. I hope she can be at peace and rest now.
If you go across that area, you will see that in the distance there is a submarine, I would say, maybe a boat. Just taking a peek at what the areas ahead might be in future episodes. But for now, since we had the boss, I think it's a good place to finish this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was certainly not the best area. I've tried to edit it in a way that is easy for you guys to watch and still understandable of what I did around here. We'll continue on. There's still a couple of things to do in here and also ahead in the DLC. But for now, this is all. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Mwah, mwah.